call me Gabby because I think Gabriella is very long. So you can address me with Gabby. And I just want to add a little to what Daniel has said here. I think what motivate me as a wife in doing my duty is that I always remind myself that actually my husband is a reflection of myself. So however he behave or whatever that he do outside there also reflects what I do. For example, if he's not dressing well, then it means that I didn't remind him of wearing the right clothes before going out and stuff like that. So it's really helping me in doing and carrying my task as a wife. And also I think what he said was very, very true, that we're not called to do the trash job, as in like picking up the the things or the socks that he throw or cleaning the toilet. That's not our only job. But when we really do all of these things, when we really realize what it means to be in a marriage and how it is to love your husband and to respect, then we will be able to do this as something that we do naturally. It's not like because I just have to do it or it's my duty as a wife. Because I know some people who also the husband do all the house chores and the wife do the opposite, and they still enjoy being in a marriage. So marriage is like what the first speaker has said, is a partnership where you both work on this thing together. And also another thing that I want to say as well is that some women sometimes got scared, like I don't want to get married, because when we get married then we feel restricted as to like my husband will tell me not what to do and what not to do. And then some women start like, I'm not going to marry because all of these things. But actually it's not like that, because we ourselves, we have our own purpose before we got married. As a person, I believe that God has a purpose for each and every one of us personally. And also if he established marriage, then it means within the marriage you will also accomplish that purpose together with your husband. And he will also be able to help you also otherwise. Like we will be helping each other, accomplishing purposes that has been assigned unto our lives. So I think this is very important for us to remember as women, because otherwise, like, yeah, you'll think that I can't do this, I can't do what I like, I can't do what I want because I'm married. But actually that's really not true. When we have a purpose and when we are married, we're stronger together, because two is better than one. And so we'll be able to complete each other. So I think that's what I want to share.
Yeah.
Probably,
for your questions.
yes,
Your
yes,
questions will help us to
build up the topics.
build the talk. So thank you very much, and we look forward to the question time. God bless you.
Wow, thank you so much. Without much ado, Sister Abigail.
Something.
Kingsford said the way you are wearing your glasses, he's ready for you, as he can see you are ready. So, over to you.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everybody. I am not married, but I'm dating, only dating. So I was stemmed from that part. And I would say that as singles, who you marry, okay, it's not as important as why you marry. As the Higgins rightly said, we each have our purpose, okay, in life. We were destined for something, okay, both the man and the woman. And so we are supposed to, as a partnership, as has been running through, we are supposed to help each other, okay, to fulfill their destinies or the purposes for which we were created. And so it's not really about who you marry, whether she's thick, she's slim, like me, or like Gloria, or, you know, beautiful, ugly. Those things do not really matter. It matters, like, I mean, the lady should be pretty, because you're going to obviously live with her for the rest of your life. And that's the same face you're going to look at, okay, for the rest of your life. So it should be something that will attract you. as Mrs. Amwa said, sexually you're supposed to satisfy it, so that thing should attract you, okay, sexually. But then why you marry that woman or that man is far more important than who you marry. And so if we, the singles, I'm talking to my ladies right now, we get to know this thing, then that is when we can properly say, okay, this is the man I have accepted to marry, okay? And this is the reason why I've accepted, say, Eji, to marry Eji, all right? And this is Eji's purpose, this is my purpose, and together we can build this. Now, when you know that, then you know that, okay, the Bible says in Proverbs chapter 31, verse 11, okay, that you are your husband's trustee. You're supposed to give advice to the man. A woman is supposed to be, should I use the word shelter, a fortress for the husband. When the man goes out there, I mean, you also go out there as a career woman or something. When the man goes out there, because their ego is easily, bruised. When the man goes out there, he faces all those challenges and come back. You are supposed to be a shelter. You're supposed to be the person that he can spill secrets to, and then know that those things are not going to go outside. You are supposed to be a wise woman, the one who will give him the good counsel, not the bad counsel. You are supposed to make the home a place he should be able to relax, not a place that he will feel uncomfortable in. So when a guy is proposing to you as a single lady, and then you look at yourself, and then you think you cannot be that man's shelter, please do not waste your time and do not waste his time. That is the most important thing I would want to leave with us. You are supposed to assess yourself and then know if you can be that man's shelter. And shelter is what I've described. And if you know you cannot be that man's shelter, if you know that his purpose, when you get to know his purpose and you know that his purpose is going to underwhelm you, like his purpose is far beneath you as a woman, and then it's going to underwhelm you, it's not going to push you to the best that you can, then please don't waste his time, because it's going to lead to strife. And if you know that his purpose is bigger than you, so that you cannot, as the Higgins said, really help him to achieve that, please also do not waste his time. So you are supposed to, first and foremost, as a woman, before you say yes to that man, assess yourself, know your strength, know your weaknesses. When the man, know where you are going, so that when the man comes in, then you know that, okay, I can help this man or I cannot help this man before saying yes to that man. So that is what I will leave it as. Assess yourself to know if you can be a shelter to that man before accepting him or saying yes. Thank you. My time is up.
Operative word, shelter. Wow. Brother Dean.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, Dr. Gloria, Honorable Gloria. I hope you can all see my face clearly. And first and foremost, I want to congratulate you for the program, and to my fellow panelists. Actually, my fiancée is online, and I salute you, Miss Manda. She decided to be here today. I think most of the things I have also enumerated here have been talked about, and since I have not had the opportunity to, as it may, taste the sweet sour juice of marriage, the little I would have to share would be predicated around expectations rather than experience. Now, first and foremost, I will talk from the perspective of men, because I'm a man and I'm also a Christian. So most of the things I would say probably would have the Christian principles and values therein. Now, throughout the presentations or throughout what I've been said, partnership has been at the forefront, and mine will never be anything different. I think men in this dispensation would expect women that they can form a very strong partnership with, and this will be on the basis of collaboration and cooperation. Now, the Bible clearly puts it in Amos chapter 3, verse 3, that two cannot work together except they are in agreement. So how do we create this enabling environment where this partnership actually takes its formidable strength? I think for me, I would talk about honesty. A man would want to gel with a woman who is very honest with him. I mean, very faithful, very truthful when it comes to issue. A woman who doesn't actually hide things, or probably would uncover or will cover up things. Now, this would also go for men. I think Yeah, because we also have a considerable number of men on the platform. As we want to seek for this in the woman, let us also build ourselves to carry out this same characteristics so that we can in turn emit them. Then also I will talk about emotional and social maturity. Actually, I will talk about emotional maturity to be the ability to handle differences. Now, men would expect women that will be able to handle differences when they come up. A woman that is not a nagging type, that's not fault finding and actually not criticizing. Yeah, and then also the social maturity is very important to me particularly. I think it has been a premise for my relationship, even though the basic foundation was the principles of Christ. But that's one thing I used also to perhaps select, and then we built from there. Actually, I believe that men would want to move with women that actually allow decency to be at the fore, especially in a public setting. And this will occur in areas of dressing, areas of speech and action. I want to kindly permit me to read something from the book of Proverbs, um, chapter 31, verse 25 and 26. And he says that she's clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. So the speech, what comes out of your mouth, many a time, most women, especially in this time, they feel that they also have the right to say things. They even in the public setting, they can do whatever they like in their actions and all that. But uh, jokingly as it may, many men will look at you, would laugh at it, but in their closet will talk about it, about who the person is, and will be kind of, that might be a bridge between you and them, between you expecting them to make their approach. So I think that we as ladies would have to try to find a good blend in how to utter things, how to carry ourselves in public, and how to speak even in public. And then I will also say that men in our dispensation are actually not enticed by what I will call the gone are the days women. And the question is, who are the gone are the days women? The gone are the days women, in my own definition, are the people who feel that they can only attract a man with cooking and with cleaning. And when you meet someone like me, who is actually trying his best to learn how to clean and learn how to cook. And trust me, in this period of COVID-19, I have cooked almost every single day. So you think a man like me, a woman cannot just use cooking to attract me or to get my attention. And this is what we need to understand. In the same way as we are trying to form the partnership, we men are also we are expecting women who are career oriented, who are objective inclined, who have something to offer, who have objective, and they are vigorously working to get it achieved, so that all together they will have something to bring on the table. And I like what Mr. Higgins said. He saw his dad uh, working for the man or working with the mom. And you see, the mom really was very objective. She had
Really?
something on the table. She has something to do. So it is not just about we trying to entice men with our cooking skills or our dressing skills. It is also about being career oriented, having to juxtapose the cooking and the cleaning and the career. Because for me, I believe that all of us would have to come together in this. When personally, I don't see cooking to be the role of women or cleaning to be the role of women alone. If I can do it, why not? So there should be something more that will get us gelling, that will get us together than just the cooking and all that. So I believe that as the questions come in, we can. And then I would also want to talk about communication, because communication is something that basically serves as the anchor to a relationship. That is really what has held my relationship till now. My lady left China almost about 2 years ago to Canada, and that is what has held us till now. And you see, and many people would actually not fancy being in long distance relationships. So the other question is, what kept us all this while? It is certain things. Number one, the God factor, how we started, everything was on the basis of God. And from the very beginning, we're clear in our mind where we're going. And as I watched a short video before today, it says that if you are not ready for marriage, don't even entertain dating. So we're very clear with our objective, and we had a long list on paper what we want to do, always meeting to pray into it. And that is what kept us even after she traveled until now. There is no single day we don't talk, and that is what has helped us. So I think I'll just pause here as the question come in, then we'll see how to address them and all that. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. At this point, we would like to open up for questions, input, suggestions. You can raise your hand, and as I see the hands raised, I would call you so you ask your questions. Master Francis, is your hand up because you want to ask a question, or it was by mistake?
Once you see that means my hand is up. Thank you very much for the floor.
Okay.
This actually is meant for the singles to learn from experience, to ask those who have ventured into this a journey of no return. Ask the presenters. So how did you do it? What is kind of the rules that you expect to get from them? You know, when you are talking about the role of a woman, there are two sides you need to look at it. From the biblical point of view and from the cultural point of view. We are from different backgrounds, and some of this in culture has a role to play in it. So you need to blend the two together if you want to have a fruitful relationship or a fruitful marriage, and you want to get the best out of the woman. So this is what you should at this one also in question. Abigail said something that it doesn't matter who you're going to marry, but the fact that a person can help you to achieve your aim or whatever you want to do is the most important. And Abigail, I want to tell you that just be careful. If you're a Christian, you can marry somebody, the person will lead you to hell. If you're a man, you can marry somebody, a woman, the woman will lead you to hell. If you're a man, you can marry a woman and a Christian, she will lead you to hell. So just be careful. Don't think that, oh, I'm going to marry this person because she can help me to achieve whatever. Pray over it. Once we're a Christian, bring God into it. The decisions, make God a central part of it. Even before you start to date, let God be part of it. Let God lead you, give you the guidance. That is the most important thing. But if you take it on your mind that, oh, this guy is going to help me. He is a graduate. I'm also a graduate. This is my focus. I want to get to this. He also can help me to get, and because of that, you're going to go on this way. Please, my sister, be very careful. It can lead you into a ditch. So your focus should be that let God be the center. If God is in the center of this thing, it will be. Women have a lot of role to play. In fact, women complement men. God created man in his own image, and he saw that it's not good for man to be alone. So he created a helpmate. You see, helpmate. So they complement each other. We do this, we do this. It doesn't mean that the women should be slaves in the house. They have a role to play. And when a man is there, you need to help the woman to fulfill his role in the house. The house is clean, the work of the woman. There's food on the table, is the woman to do, but a man can help. Me, if you come to my house and my wife want to fry fish, I'm the one who does it, and I do it perfectly because I'm a Fanti and I come from Fanti land where frying of fish is easier for us to do. So whenever she wants to fry fish, you just put it there. We go, oh, I finished the fish. Can you please help me fry it? That is perfect. It doesn't mean that that is my role. No. Sometimes she will do it. You get my point? So women complement men, make the home beautiful. When women is in the house, there is joy. When women are not in the house, you go to the house and you see there's difference there. When a woman is there, the food we eat is different. When a woman is not there, the food we eat is also different. You see the difference with that. When a woman is there, there's difference there. The woman is not there, there's also difference. We need to look into this. How do we learn about this woman's role? This is most important for the singles who are now coming.
Audrey.
See, you are not coming. So ask questions relating to this. Let the preacher give you more. Let the speaker give you more into it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please, I feel like we're going to have a great time asking questions and getting to know. But because of time, let us be as brief as possible. I will check and I will give each person 1 minute. I will stick to the time, and when your time is up, I will mute you. I'm sorry for that, but please let's take notes. So I have here something that our panelist wrote. She said a disclaimer. I said God-given purpose, Master Francis, which goes to show that in the first place, God is the basis. I was not talking about the purpose we have assigned to ourselves, but God-given. Please, hope we are clear with that. With that, we would ask Ejewa from Wuhan. Ejewa from Wuhan.
Hello. Yeah. Ejewa from Wuhan, I'm here. It's a small contribution. I want us to know that, especially those who have not married, that marrying a good person, marrying a bad person, it depends on you. When you are going into a marriage, in family issues, we should make sure that woman can be complementary. One, when the man is there, and you can be the sole owner in the house when the man is not there. Let us think for that fact, because your man can die tomorrow and you should be in charge of the house. So women should take that thing into their brains and be in charge, that their future is in their own hands. And when you are marrying, even though he's a good man, he's rich, God has given it to you. We are human, we can change. The man can change. You can marry somebody with 2 hands. Tomorrow, he's handicapped with only 1 hand. So as we marry for the right purpose, let's also think about when things are down. Like we all didn't imagine that there will be a pandemic, but now there is. So anytime we are going to marriage, let's think about it twice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's see, William Guangzhou.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for the talk. Highly appreciated. Quickly, I want to ask a bit of question about what I call mixed marriages. I mean, marriages between people of different race, right? Like an African with an Asian, or like an European. That's what I mean by mixed marriages. But with a little background, normally we, from the typical African perspective, you know, women, when we say roles of women, we definitely take them to, let's say, the household chores, the cooking, and all those things. However, even with with the times in which we are in, where you have a career woman, that everybody would think, or now going that, no, you cannot expect, for instance, your wife, who is a medical doctor, spending so much time at the hospital, and expect that everything about cooking and about household chores, she will be able to do that and do it effectively. So we also know that people of non-African descent have, different cultures. So how do we manage when you find yourself in this mixed culture or mixed marriages, an African marrying?
Awesome, thank you. Mr. Hagan, can you please take his question?
Yes, please. Okay. Yeah, we actually expected this question. So yeah, for us, I think that culture makes a difference. We can't overlook that. Culture definitely makes a difference. But what actually makes a bigger difference is personality, because you can come from the same culture, and if you are two, people who don't share the same dream, you will end up still losing your marriage. That is why we have divorces between people of the same culture, and we still have divorces between people of different culture, whether it's the same country or different countries. So marriage takes work. That is the first thing I guess we have to understand. You have to work on your marriage. So when it comes to coming from different culture, I think the first thing is that you have to be willing to learn the other person's culture. There are some things that Gabby might find normal, but I would say that no, this is not a good thing to do in my culture. And we make all these mistakes a lot, and we learn. And when it happens, when it happens, I don't immediately get angry or something. The first thing I need to understand is that I need to find out from her if she understands that the particular thing that she's done is might be offensive in my culture. And most of the time she doesn't. And when I tell her in a very loving way, it really goes a long way. She works on it. And it's the same thing for me. I might also do something that is not culturally right. And then she lovingly corrects me. And so the thing is that we are not trying to compete or anything. We want to really enjoy each other. And so we make a deliberate effort. And we have actually told each other that we will be nicer to each other than to anyone else. And so if I'm not being nice to my wife, I'm not going to be nice to anyone else. In that way, I am challenged to find out what would make it nice for her. And I have to look into her culture. I try to learn her language. She's learning Fanti, I'm learning Bahasa. It's nice. And we make fun of even some of these cultural differences. We make fun of it. And so, yeah, I don't know if she has something to say.
Maybe communication is very important, because if you don't communicate, I will never know that it's offensive to his culture. And yeah, or maybe like what the question says, that when you have expectations of your wife, like she's supposed to do this, but she also has to work somewhere. So you just have to communicate between each other, and then you find an understanding middle ground. Is it? Yeah. So you find a middle ground of it, and you'll be able to work it out together. Yeah, I think that's it.
I hope that helps the question.
I hope so. I think he typed that what should you take into consideration in a mixed marriage? I hope it's mixed, not mixed, right?
Mixed.
In a mixed marriage, or even marrying a real woman from your culture or race.
Oh, yeah. I think one of the first things I'll say is that you should expect difficulties. We are, I guess, we are in a generation where we that have these, love and they lived happily ever after. And so we always have this really big dream and big fantasies in our heads. And so, well, the first thing is that we have to recognize that there will be difficulties. And in fact, you also have to recognize that you have issues and she has issues. You are two imperfect people who are coming together. And if you have two imperfections coming together, then you get more imperfection. And so it becomes messy. So when you expect her to be completely perfect for you, and you're expecting that, yeah, you're already perfect, then you'll be in trouble. So one of the first things that we actually did was we actually spoke about our negative sides. Very